This is Garis, Masculist MGTOW flyers, that is, 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW, written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 695, part 2, entitled How to Convert a Monoconscious Male Feminist into a Biconscious Masculist. Continuing straight on. For example, women have the MARA, maternity rejection right, but you as a man don't have the PARA, paternity rejection right. So millions of women force, in capital letters, men to pay for 2 decades for a kid he never wanted in the first place. Maybe 10% or more of pregnancies involve paternity fraud. With a FIP society, the divorce courts can be made men fair, since women will be FIPs who don't divorce rape men, as manslaving fluffy parasites do. For Christ's sake, man, wake up! You are what the Biconscious Masculists call a monoconscious male feminist. The only gender politics you know is feminist. You know nothing about how badly women oppress men, and far worse, because the big 3 ways that women oppress men, that the masculists keep harping on, are unknown to you. That is, manslavery, divorce, rape, and forced fathering. These gender crimes that women commit against men are truly horrible. So I suggest you start doing some masculist thinking and educate yourself so that you are not trapped in a feminist-dominated divorce court, or not forced into having a kid you don't want, or worst of all, not being manslaved to work for a woman for decades of your life, who never bothered to FIP up, who just expected to live off your money and work for decades. I suggest that you teach your monoconscious girlfriend masculinist ideas at the same rate that you learn them, since if you don't, if she remains dogmatically monoconscious and you become biconscious, then you will start seeing her as a hypocritical bigot, given that women oppress men far worse. You will then become disgusted with her and you will dump her. So if you want to keep her as a girlfriend, then it is in both your self-interests to become biconscious, and at the same rate, or there will be big trouble. Biconscious masculism is now growing exponentially, so in a few years, masculist ideas will be commonplace, thus turning the tide on monoconsciousness, converting it into biconsciousness, so that millions of monoconscious feminists will go through a lot of pain when they are dumped by their boyfriends with these men's newly acquired masculist bi-consciousness. You will come to see the monoconscious male bashing of your girlfriend as detestable due to its hypocrisy, given that women oppress men far worse. You will come to see her as a, quote, misandrist, male-dumping, feminazi cunt, and you will dump her and then go find a new relationship with a woman who is biconscious, who shares the same gender political religion that you have, that is, biconscious masculism. You will not give up your male feminist beliefs that men oppress women, but you will learn to reject with passion the monoconsciously bigoted idea that gender oppression is a one-way street, which is what the feminists are preaching, which makes biconscious masculists hate them for their gender politically ignorant hypocrisy. When millions of monoconscious feminists have lost their former monoconscious male feminist boyfriends and then see these men take up relationships with biconscious feminists, then these monoconscious feminists will become highly motivated to convert themselves into biconscious feminists. And that will be a good thing for men, for women, and for the world. End quote. I hope this flyer has given men in the manosphere ideas on how to cope with verbally violent, monoconscious male feminists at feminist public meetings, when monoconscious feminists sprout their misandrous lies and their profound hypocrisy, given that women oppress men worse. Monoconscious male feminists are usually easier to convert to biconsciousness than are female feminists, since male feminists are male, so have a deeper perception of the male mind of the biconscious masculist, who is haranguing the monoconscious feminist at the public meeting. The male feminist is equally subject to being butchered in a feminist-dominated divorce court as is a biconscious masculist, as well as being equally subject to forced paternity, given that as a male he has, as yet, no para, a piece of legislation that is yet to be won by the masculists. Biconscious masculists can say to monoconscious male feminists, quote, "For Christ's sake, man, wake up! Learn some masculism so that you learn that gender oppression is very much a two-way street, that women oppress you worse than vice versa. If you marry and have kids, you'll face a 1 chance in 4 of being butchered. Women have the mara, but you have no para. So you can be forced into an unwanted pregnancy, very much against your will. For Christ's sake, man, wake up and start fighting for the liberation of men. As a male feminist, biconscious masculists see you as gender politically ignorant and as a traitor to your own sex." End quote. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. In brackets, click on the Masculist tab for 690 plus Masculist essays and their videos. Google the terms London Real and Hugo de Garis to see videos on masculism at AI will kill 1 billion people, do we create our exterminators, ? Professor Hugo de Garis, London Real. In brackets, see the last half hour of this 2-hour interview for the Masculist segment, as well as Countdown to Extinction, How AI Will Exterminate Mankind, again for the last 40 minutes on masculism. These flyers are available in text and video formats on Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, MGTOW.tv, X and YouTube, brackets, although well down in the search list since YouTube has shadow banned my masculist videos. I have nearly 1,000 masculist videos in 14 playlists on YouTube that can be accessed by searching for the channel name De Garis Masculist Videos. That's all one word. All 1,000 of my masculist videos in one long list in most recent first time order can also be found on X by searching the channel name De Garis Masculist Videos. That's 4 words. Ciao.